Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Honor to him, the blessed one, the worthy one, the fully enlightened one. My utmost respect to the perfectly enlightened Samma Sambuddha, the noble doctrine of the Buddha, and the noble Mahasangha, the disciples of the Buddha. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Thursday Dhamma Chat with Dhamma USA. It's my great joy to warmly welcome Bhante Chandananda tonight discussion. Bhante, thank you so much for joining us in sharing the Dhamma with our community. And a warm welcome to all of you joining us on Zoom and YouTube from different parts of the world. We are truly blessed to gather together with the Sangha. The Buddha praised Dhamma Sakacha, right? Noble discussion of the Dhamma, because it strengthens wisdom and it clears doubts and it supports our practice. When we reflect together, we grow together, right? During this live session, please type your Dhamma-related questions in the Zoom chat or YouTube comment section. We will address them as we go. And dear friends, if these sessions benefit you, please subscribe to the Dhamma USA YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and our other social media platforms, and share the Dhamma with others. Your support helps us continue spreading the Buddha's teaching worldwide. So, Bhante Chandananda, perhaps we can begin with a simple reflection while our friends are typing. Today many people say that they are very busy and stressed. Bhante, from the Buddha's perspective, what is the real cause?
Well, Bhante, thank you for that wonderful question. I think it's very relevant in today's context, especially people find the very reason as an excuse not to come to Dhamma. But if you are really wise and make use of the same reason for us to come to the Dhamma. For instance, if we were to analyze what that mentality in the first place, what that mentality is all about, what really keeps us busy and what really keeps us distracted. And once we analyze that that aspect of our mind itself will bring us to the Dhamma. For instance, all we do is just experiencing the sensuous pleasure, and in the end, all our attempts, whatever the pursuit that we are engaging in, the end result is to gratify our senses. That is that really lies behind all our pursuit. So in that sense, we are really busy in seeking sensuous pleasure, seeking the food for our five senses, six senses. And of course, it's going to be a tiring thing, an exhausting thing, and we can never ever make it satisfied. And the more we gratify our senses with the sense stimuli, the more craving it generates. So this is why the Buddha said that yes, as far as the sensuous pleasure is concerned, it's very inferior. I mean the inferior compared to the other level of happiness that we can gain once we come to the Dhamma. So, and of course, the that pursuit of happiness in the sensuous realm, it involves so much of trouble, so much of negative consequences. It gives only temporarily a fleeting sense of happiness and satisfaction. But in the end, we are going to reap a lot of undesirable consequences. This is why the Buddha asks us to come to the Dhamma to experience other refined level of happinesses. For instance, the happiness in the jhana and also the happiness in Nibbana. So the very reason that keeps you, prevent you from coming to the Dhamma, you can really make use of that very reason for you to come to the Dhamma. So otherwise, I think it's all about the priority. No exceptional excuses that we can find in the world, because it's quite evident that even in the Buddha's time, people were having a very busy life. Regardless of their busyness, still even the people from royal families and the business class, so I mean, people from well-to-do families, they still manage to come to the Dhamma and benefit from the Dhamma. And also, once they experience Dhamma, they became sometimes teacher for others as well. So today, I don't think that we don't have any extra excuses that we can come up with, because regardless of the time and space, all we are doing is the same thing, just spending our time gratifying our senses, seeking sensuous pleasure. So that is true regardless of the time. So even today, if we are really wise, we can really come to the Dhamma.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bhante, for this enlightening response to that question. Well, I think in today's context, we see many times we see people complain, right? Complain in the sense we don't have time. We don't have time to meditate. We don't have time to come to the temple. We don't have time to think of these spiritual things, and because we are too busy. I think a lot of people, whosoever, if they are busy, that means they really need some peace of mind, right?
Right.
Because the more you become busier means the more peace you need, right? And all those people who kind of find some lame excuses to practice, and they also find more time if they have some entertainment, something, something special, and they somehow find the time. So that means if they really need it, they can really make it. I think in today's busy modern day life, also we need to find time for our own self-care, right?
That's right.
People sometimes they are too busy working for the others, maybe helping others, maybe like thinking of their children, maybe, but they also have to think of themselves. If you are happy, if you want happiness, if you want peace, according to the Buddha's advice, we have to look into ourselves, because the true happiness is not elsewhere, it is actually within, right? So I would like to also ask Bhante, what's your opinion? How can we encourage people to practice Dhamma? Why? Do we really need to practice meditation, or do we need to really come to the spirituality? Because now everything is very modern. Lot of things are there, like comfortable lifestyle probably, and more gadgetics, you know. And so why do we? There are so many things for people to go and have fun, you know, enjoy their life. In that case, do what they think. Is it really, can we say, yeah, what they do is right and they don't need meditation? That is fine for them. What's your response to that?
As Bante was asking this question, actually, I was reminded of a particular sutta, the Rattapala Sutta, where Venerable Rattapala, Rattapala being a very young monk, coming to this Dhamma from a very well-to-do family, very rich family background. So even the king that time, he was so amazed by this, this transformation, and he wanted to ask this venerable, what really led you to this Dhamma? Because you are very young and very energetic, and you are coming from a well-to-do family, and no any financial issues or any issues for your survival, but still you chose this path. Why is it? Venerable Rattapala gave a wonderful reply, wonderful answer to that question. I think that answer has a value, that lasting value that can be applied to anyone at any time. He said that, Your Majesty, you know that even though I have all the things that I have all the material things, and I am living a really wonderful life. But still, there are certain things that inescapable. There are certain problems that we confront in our life. With no matter how much material wealth, how much things that we have materially, still we cannot solve those problems, inevitable problems, with that money or the material gain. So that the one of the things is that the fact that we are subject to death. So that is something that nobody has overcome yet. So seeing this danger in my life, actually it really compelled myself to go to Dhamma and seek happiness. And also he mentioned that looking at the aging nature of all sentient beings, everyone is subject to aging. So I'm someone who have not overcome that. So Dhamma can still help me to overcome that problem. So that is another reason why he wanted to practice Dhamma. The other thing is that he mentioned that no matter how much we hold on to material things, one day eventually we have to let go everything, and we have to depart from everything and everyone near and dear to us. So since there is an undeniable reality that we experience in our life, that very reason brought me to the Dhamma. So those undeniable, inevitable, the suffering is there in our life. So if we wisely reflect on that, I think everyone has to come to the Dhamma and benefit from this Dhamma, because this Dhamma leads us to overcome aging, overcome death, and overcome all kinds of suffering that we experience in our life. So Buddha's path is to experience that highest and most purified and refined level of happiness in this very life. Therefore, I consider everyone needs the Dhamma.
Yeah, that I think is a very good answer to many questions that people have in their life, especially with regard to busyness, right? busyness due to many things. I remember in 1922, Carl Jung, he retired himself into Bollingen Tower, rural lakeside in Switzerland. And that time he confined himself to the room, and he locked the door from within, and he kept the key with myself. And when I'm in the room, I will be all myself, and no one is allowed to come in without my permission. He used to do so much hard work, like deep work, and he would wake up at 7 a.m. and then he would keep writing for 2 hours uninterrupted. So this deep work has been defined by Carl Newport in his book Deep Work as professional activities when it is done without any disturbance. This is very important. Like you have to do something without any disturbance, and then it should be very helpful to improve your skill. It is rare for someone to replicate that. So the kind of outcome that you can generate through this deep work should be something exceptional. So many people have done this in the past. There was another filmmaker. He was a scriptwriter, and what he did was from 1969 to 2013, 44 years. So what he did, he was writing. Can you imagine? He was writing 44 films and directing 44 films. And then he was also nominated for the Academy Award. He received the nomination for 23 Academy Awards. That's really an exceptional, absurd kind of, professional, artistic productivity that he did while he was focusing. And that time it is said he would completely cut off himself from the rest of the world, and he kept on doing these things. And there was another scientist also who did the same. The internet age, the term that was coined by this internet punk, also focused, very thoroughly focused on his work. He also became a very powerful person, very influential person like that. There are many interesting stories that we can learn from. There was one psychiatrist, and I think he was a physicist. And what he did also was very thoroughly focusing on his writing. And then a lot of people wanted to even, it is said like he won the Nobel Prize. Even the journalists couldn't find him because he was cut off. Even in his website, his email was not there. so, so it is said like, he said like, if I kept emailing, then I would actually waste a lot of time. If I have some undisturbed time chunks, and then I can do so much work. Even I could write novels after novels. Harry Potter writer J.K. Rowling, she also was really a powerful deep work writer. When she was writing, it is said she was away from social media. The team actually created a Twitter account for her, and she wrote only one message. And there she said, this is real me. And but from now onwards, I'm working on some project, so I will be away from this. So it's very interesting. Like even Bill Gates, for that matter, it is said like he had a deep week or something where he would confine himself once a year or twice a year. He would confine himself to a lakeside cottage where he kept on writing and reading for bigger ideas. That's how even the lot of things came up with these powerful thinkings. So this means all of us need to really come away from those very busy schedules sometimes and to be by yourself. And that way you can really become a very professional, a productive, efficient person. Isn't it so wonderful? Like the Buddha himself, in many suttas, he said how he was running away from people. He was searching for that deep work, and how he was focused, very thoroughly focused. As Bante mentioned about the jhanas, you really have to be very thoroughly focused in order to achieve jhanas, right? So I think every one of us, if you want to be productive, if you want to be professionally really a powerful person, then you have to be away from the shallow work, but the real deep work. That means you need to have some um, deep work, I mean, self-care. So Dhamma or meditation can be a very powerful mechanism, tool that we can use for the well-being and happiness of the many.
Sure. And in relation to Bante said that I can quote another sutta, Bante, from the Sutta Pitaka, that is called the Sakya Sutta. And there, Buddha wanted to introduce this, the Uposatha day as the real spiritual day off for the spiritual observance for the world. I think that is really interesting, and according to that Sutta Bhante, that a group of royalties came to the Buddha, and the very first question Buddha asked them was that how often you stay observing 8 precepts once a month on the full moon day. They said, one of us, you know that we are having a very busy life, and we find it really hard to find time for such kind of practices. But once in a while, we have practice in that, but it's really hard to keep up with the other works. So then the Buddha said, then if you are not practicing that at least once a month, remember that is a great loss. No matter how much that you are trying to create money or the wealth, but it's still at the end of the day, it's a great loss if you are not investing yourself in spiritual paths. So I think in a way, in one day off, especially for that spiritual observances and practice, it's like you are going into the energy saving mode, so you can preserve energy, generate more energy, so you can work efficiently, and it's a great idea that and a great contribution from Buddhism to the whole world, that the very introduction of the Uposatha day for the religious observances and the meditation and practice virtues. I think Buddha knew that world really needs that kind of break, especially cutting off all the other duties and obligations, and we really need to benefit from that day at least for our well-being and for the being of others.
Thank you. What is that once again?
That is called Sakya Sutta.
Sakya Sutta, okay. It's not Sakkapanya, right?
No, not Sakkapanya Sutta. Sakya Sutta, they are, Buddha also questioned them. what if you were to keep investing and earning money continuously for 100 years, and then how much you can make within that 100 years? So then again Buddha asks, on account of that big saving investment, how long you are going to experience happiness without experiencing the slightest sign of unhappiness or the suffering? Can you stay like 100 years on account of that saving investment? Can you stay happily for 100 years? They accepted, yes, Bhante, we can. So how about 50 years? They said, yes, Bhante, we understand that even 50 years is impossible. What about one day? Even one day, you cannot, on account of that money, you cannot guarantee your happiness even for 24 hours. So then Buddha said that, well, if you come to this Dhamma, within one day, the one day of practice can lead you to happiness in this life, and also that one day of practice can bring about happiness for eons and eons. So it's a great discourse that we can reflect on as we complain about the busyness of our life, and how Buddha wanted us to get rid of that mentality and come to the Dhamma and benefit from it.
Yeah, so I think this perfect happiness that people gain when they are practitioners, we call piti, right? Beautiful, powerful piti, rapture. And it is said in the jhanas. Of course, the Nibbana is Paramansukkhang, it is said. The Nibbana is the highest happiness. But then when it comes to the jhanic level, the what we call rapture, piti, is something exceptional, unprecedented in someone's life. Like many times we think a lot of people do things for happiness, right? They want to go out, maybe they want to go to a park, or they want to go to a restaurant, they want to go to a film, do some other entertainment or traveling even. And so they feel like very good. But something that a lot of people still find is they are not lasting happiness, right? They are very, very temporary kind of happiness. Because let's say you go for a park, go for a hike or something, and after a while you feel tired. Maybe you go with the family members, with the kids and all, you all go with that intention. You want to enjoy your life. But then on the way, maybe in between, the middle of it, or at the end of it, you feel so tired and exhausted. So the happiness that you're seeking there is not really there. Maybe it is very, very little. And then also when you're going to for a movie also, it could be the same. Maybe you come out of the movie theater and the happiness is normal. you know and then you travel or you do something for fun or whatever. The happiness that we try to find is not really there. It's not very strong, very temporary and very tentative kind of happiness. So, but when it comes to the jhanic level happiness, that rapture is unprecedented. It's truly a very powerful happiness. There it is said, you get rid of sensual pleasures, right? And then, I mean, very seriously, you can suppress your sensual pleasures, and then your anger and ill will, and then also your sloth and torpor, like physical and mental lethargy, and then also other things like doubt or restlessness. These things are right? You comprehensively or substantially you can suppress. And when you are in a perfect samadhi or unification of mind, unified mind, in that status, the kind of happiness that you experience is truly amazing and very powerful, right? Because you feel very light within. You feel like you are an empty cloud, and your body and your mind become very peaceful and light. And with that, you start to experience a very powerful happiness. So that happiness, compared to that worldly happiness, is so much powerful, right?
Sure.
And then, what is the difference as you think, according to Dhamma, the difference between the jhanic happiness and the unconditional nibbanic happiness?
That is really an interesting, profound question, Bante. Um, well, it is evident that even before the emergence of Buddhism in India, there were lots of people who had already attained to the jhanas. They had attained the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. And not only that, there were some recluses and Brahmins who had attained immaterial jhanas as well. So it's obvious that in one of the stories we find that Prince Siddhartha encountered one of such Brahmin who had attained to the immaterial jhana, and he was in a way he was regretting that he might not get the chance to see the Buddha because he was certain that he's going to become the Buddha. It's destined to happen. But since he had already attained the immaterial jhana, he cannot see him by the time he becomes the Buddha. So all these informations tell us that there was that rich mental culture even during the time of the Buddha. So then, what is the Buddha's unique contribution to this spiritual world? That is the happiness of Nibbana. So the Nibbana differs from the happiness of all the jhanas. But of course, we need to make use of jhanas to experience that Nibbana. But the happiness we experience in Nibbana is incomparable. That is the highest happiness. So when it comes to the subject of happiness, Buddha talks about the happiness at different levels. As we already discussed, the happiness in the sensuous level, which is very inferior happiness. We already discussed that and how fleeting it is, and the danger in that happiness, because it gives us temporarily pleasure, but it comes in with a lot of undesirable consequences in return. Appasada kama bahudukko bahupayaso. As far as the sensuous pleasure is concerned, it provides us with the temporary pleasure only, but in return, it is going to give us so much troubles and so much undesirable consequences. So that is why actually Buddha wanted to condemn that level of happiness and praise always the happiness in the jhanas and the nibbana. There is this thing that we need to understand, that sometimes because of the Buddha's condemnation of the sensuous pleasure, sometimes people think that Buddha, is it the case that Buddha rejects the the relevance of happiness? But that is not the case. The happiness and the happiness in the Kama Loka is different. So Buddha rejected only the Kama Sukallikana Yoga, but not the Sukallikana Yoga. So Sukallikana Yoga is something has to do with even the happiness in the jhanas and also the happiness of Nibbana. So other than, without this sensuous pleasure, Buddha wanted everyone to experience the happiness in the jhanas, and also Buddha praise those who are residing, those who are engaging in, those who are abiding in the jhanas, and also always Buddha encourage everyone to experience the happiness in Nibbana, because the jhana, the happiness in jhana is that we temporarily subdue evil tendencies of our mind, but it's temporary. Temporary in the sense that even if you were to live eons and eons in the Devaloka or in the Brahma, especially the Brahma realm, you can live and experience, continue to experience the jhana sapa, jhana sukha for eons and eons. But still it is temporary compared to the happiness in Nibbana. So when it comes to Nibbana, you are going to put an completely end to all immoral tendencies of your mind, and you are going to experience the highest happiness, that is the happiness of Nibbana, where you cut off, you completely extirpate the greed, hatred, and delusion, and experience happiness of Nibbana. With that happiness, you are no longer subject to birth and subject to death. And with that liberation, you experience the highest happiness.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bante. And I also can see some people here joining us in the YouTube. Maria, and Ruth, also Raj, I can see, and anyone else, if you are there, you can also say hi. And also, you can actually, what you can do is type your question, whatever question you have during this time, we can help you. So we would like to take this opportunity to answer your questions if you have any regarding any Dhamma discussion, Dhamma matter that you have. Well, I think that was a very deep Dhamma discussion. Yeah, so be something also related to that, Bante. If there's no permanent self or anatta, right? In Buddhism, we call anatta, or no soul, or no permanent entity, right? Then who is actually suffering? How do we understand personal pain, identity, and responsibility in light of the teaching of non-self? Is anatta merely philosophical or deeply practical? What is the Buddhist perspective on this?
Thank you, Bante. It's a really interesting question, very profound as well. I know that this question has been raised in the sphere of philosophy and religions, and it's a very profound question. So this is something that mostly people find it difficult to understand. That is also the unique nature of Buddhism too. Buddhism presents the doctrine negating the self or any substantial entity, but still talks about one's responsibility, and also the continuation of the samsara, and also the experiencing of nibbana. So then it's really interesting that people find it difficult to get it, like how come in the first place Buddhism denies the existence of self, and again talks about a person who is experiencing this suffering, and also again talks about the person who is attaining nibbana and all that. But this is what we have to understand, that Buddhism talks about the existence or the reality at two levels. One is conventional level, and the other one is the ultimate level. So
Sammuti Paramatta.
Sammuti and Paramatta. So when the Buddha talks about the karma and karma related Dhamma, actually Buddha is referring to this conventional world. So there we can literally talk about a person who is experiencing the karma and its consequences and all that. But that is just the, it is confined to the, the conventional level. So when it comes to the ultimate level, we cannot talk about a person. So when it comes to the ultimate level, that's where we talk about the doctrine of the suffering and its cause and the cessation and the path leading to the cessation. So when we come to that level, of course, we understand that apart from this, the five aggregates, there is nothing that we can take as person or individual or self or any such substantial entity within the individual or without. So all we can see is nothing but the five aggregates. So if we can understand that distinction, I think that that question might not arise. At least if we get the distinction of the the conventional reality and the ultimate reality, we can I think solve that problem.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think that's what I wanted to actually get here. Like we wanted to help people understand the true essence of the Buddha's teachings over here. So yeah, so having said that, like Buddha would not even also deny there is the existence of Sammuti world, right? The mundane, secular, that world is there. And also, for example, our body. And you have a body. And so we have names, right? Like in the worldly context, we have been given some names. So in the ultimate absolute level, there is no such thing. So there's only Nama, Rupa, or name and form. But in the traditional sense, conventional sense, Buddha also used it for the world. Otherwise, he wouldn't say, like when he met Venerable Ananda, he would not call him like, bundle of four elements or skeleton or something, right? He would say Ananda, right? So we need to know, I think, where to draw the line when it comes to the conventional truth. We use it. And then when it comes to the absolute truth, the Paramatta Satya, we also have to use it accordingly. And we need to know the difference between the two. And we also need to get the help of this Panchakanda, right? Five aggregates, in order to attain the highest bliss of Nibbana. So without the help of this body, we can't do that. So that means like practicing the metta, for example, loving kindness. we need to practice loving kindness towards ourselves and towards other sentient beings. All sentient beings, unconditional, immeasurable loving kindness infinitely to everyone. A lot of people, especially I notice young people, they used to complain that they could practice loving kindness towards others, but themselves. um, Bhante, in the context of this, what do you think is the better advice for them? Like to also have that, do we need to self-love, or is it like against Buddhism if you do that?
Yeah. It's really interesting, but I remember one time when His Holiness the Dalai Lama was having a discussion, but there were a lot of people, and there was the panel in that discussion. So when someone asks a question, usually he wanted to get the translation of that question. Actually, that question was about the self-hate. So the translator found really difficult to translate that because in Tibetan tradition and in Tibetan Buddhism, there is no such a thing called self-hate. So then His Holiness said that it's a wrong question. So see these ideologies, how we see that difference, that different ideologies, that people even talk about self-hate, but of course that can happen. So once you do not know how to respect yourself and how to acknowledge your very existence, then you can end up having self-hate too. The only when you understand the value of your existence, the value of yourself, then you begin to appreciate each and every moment you are going to live on this earth. You are going to appreciate it, because how we got this body, how we got this life in the first place, thanks to a lot of wonderful, great things that we have been doing in our previous existence. So thanks to our own good karma. So we need to reflect ourselves, and we need to use this life as a mirror, so we can reflect into, contemplate into our own karma. So our own karma has been reflected in the mirror of this life. But unfortunately, we are not that patient, we are not that wise just to look into it. So all we see is just the result of our karma. If we are having a good life, and if we were born into a well-to-do family, and if we have all comforts and the good health and the longevity and all that, all these things tells us that we are very rich in merits. So, but it takes wisdom for us to look into the cause of that karma. So we just see the results of our karma. So if we are wise enough, we can see, what could be the what kind of karma we must have been doing in our previous existence. It's all about love, compassion, kindness, generosity, patience, and all. Thanks to all those great karmas, we are here today. So then, if we are respecting that, then we simply need to continue with the cause. We need to do more and more good karmas. So we need to appreciate our life. We need to appreciate our own karma, and we should be able to see our own karma through the mirror of this life. And then once we establish that wisdom in ourselves, then we can love others with a great we have great potential, great ability, skill to help others and work for the good of others. Buddha's advice is that once you find yourself stuck in the mud, it's really hard for you to give your hand to get out of get someone else who is also stuck in the mud. You can help someone to get out of that mud. First you need to get rid of that mud and then help others, and you can give your hand to someone else who is also stuck in the mud. So I think first we need to love ourselves, respect ourselves, value our own karma. Then we are able to truly practice the loving kindness in its true sense.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So this is the very important point actually that we all need to know, recognize how important it is for us to know the Dharma properly. That way we can really make our life more meaningful, right? So also we would like to invite everyone to join us in future as well. And maybe today it was a little bit profound Dharma discussion, but I hope it was really helpful. And if you also have more questions to ask, we really want to actually um, give you a chance, and maybe we can help you in whatever way we possible. So every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, we will be online through Dhamma USA YouTube channel, and you are welcome to join us. And you can also send your questions maybe in advance, or you can type your questions while the session is on, so that we can help you. I think it is time for us to say goodbye today, and really appreciate everyone. Dear friends, as we come to the end of tonight's Dhamma chat, let us pause for a moment of reflection. Whatever we heard and discussed today may it not remain only as words. May it become reflection. May it become practice. And may it become transformation. The Buddha reminds us that even a small understanding, when practiced sincerely, can change the direction of our lives. Let us continue to guard the mind, speak with wisdom, act with compassion, and live mindfully in our daily lives. We are deeply grateful to Bhante Chandananda for sharing your wisdom and time with us. And thank you so much, Bhante. And also heartfelt thanks to all of you who joined us and participated. Your presence makes this Sangha strong and alive. If tonight's discussion has benefited you, please subscribe to Dhamma USA YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and other social media platforms, and share the Dhamma with others. Let's continue this viewing every Thursday at 7 p.m. PST. Now, let us close by sharing merit with all the departed relatives and all the other devas and brahmas. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukheta huntu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukheta huntu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukheta huntu nyatayo. Itavata amhehi sambathang punya sampadang Sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. May this merit lead towards the ending of suffering. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. And may all beings be free from suffering. With that, we conclude our session. Thank you all and good night from us, and see you again next Thursday with another Thursday Dhamma chat session. Namo Buddhaya.